What's up, guys? Coming at you with another episode review, and this time it's gonna be on Itaewon Class. I know the last time I talked about Itaewon Class was basically that video on where I said what things I've watched, and Itaewon Class was part of that topic. And I know yesterday I did an episode review of the 1960 TV show, which was really cool. I really recommend that show. But now I'm gonna do an episode review on the 2 episodes I've seen of Itaewon Class. Which is episode 2 and 3. So I want to start first with episode 2. Now episode 2, wow, that was actually even better than episode 1, to be honest. One thing that I like about Park Si-roi is that Park Si-roi, man, like, he just wanted vengeance for his father's death. He wanted to try and kill Jang-gwon or something like that. But, you know, his friend Osoa like tried to stop him so he doesn't become a criminal, and then he went to prison, for 3 years. He went to prison for 3 years, and as he was in prison, Jang-gun's dad visited him, and he doesn't want to basically obey him because he's kind of the reason why his father died, and his son kind of caused the accident too, so that is reasonable. But one thing that I really liked about this episode is that Park Si-roi, like, when he's in prison, he's not just fooling around, He's learning business from the book of Jang-gun's dad. So what he's basically doing is learning business skills that he essentially could use later on in life, which is very, very good idea, honestly. Because that way he'll be a really good businessman and he'll know skills, and that will be very good for your life in the long run too. And if he wants to go against Jang-gun's dad, he has to learn a certain amount of business skills. It's kind of that mentality of, learning your enemy so you can become kind of better than them or surpass them. But it's kind of that business mentality that he's trying to learn from the book in prison. So that's one thing that is crazy that I realized. And also, the prison visit from Osoa I thought it was very heartfelt. I thought it was a really cute moment. It was really nice that he thought of her as a friend. But then after that, Osoa took the money from Jang-gun's dad, But Osoa wanted to go to the college, and she's using the money from Jang-gun's dad. But honestly, after Park Si-roi went after prison and he's like free after he served his time, he actually kind of forgave Osoa because he knows that people have to work too, people have to make money too, so he doesn't take it personally. And plus, the letters that Osoa gave to Park Si-roi kind of helped him in prison, so he kind of forgive her in that sense. So the other thing that I really liked about episode 2 was Park Si-roi's trip to Itaewon. And he saw the beautiful scenery of Itaewon, how it was kind of a gathering of a lot of different cultures, different people, a lot of different variety, and I thought that it was such a great scene. It's one of the few scenes where you see Park Si-roi really happy, and it was cool that he met Osoa and basically caught up on a lot of lost time. It was a good moment for character development for both characters of Osoa and Park Si-roi. I think that the character development was fantastic in this. It was a very heartfelt moment. They talk about the past a lot and how much they've grown as people. Park Si-roi wanted to talk about his plan, and his plan is basically to work for a couple of years, just work normal deep sea diving job, as a way to kind of repent for, not saving his dad and such. And that's one thing that he wants to do, work a lot, work an honest living, so I can really respect that, But after that, he wants to create his own business, his own restaurant, because of the things that he learned into that book. And that is a really good skill to have, like I said, so that is great that he's thinking in the lines of business in order to, beat Jang-gun's dad, and beat him at his own game. But that is also a good skill, like I said, a good skill to really have. Osoa is working for Jang-gun's dad's company, which is crazy. But Park Si-roi kind of, like I said in the beginning, Park Si-roi kind of understood where it's coming from because of the money standpoint. And then we get this scene a little bit that is up the stairs. You see the scene near Osoa's house I think that Park Sero-hee, was taking back that one quote that So Soa said in episode 1, where he's not rich no more, so he can't go to her house. And Park Sero-hee, he being a gentleman right here, man. He being a true gentleman here. But he left, and then he went to work. 7 years. There was a 7-year time gap after that scene too, to where you see Park Sero-hee kind of get his restaurant together. He has his own restaurant now. He's a business owner. He's opening it up. And also Osowa is some head at Jang-won's dad's company. And you see these guys like grow up so much from where they were before in the episode. And that is great character progression. I thought that the writing of episode 2 was really nice. There was a lot of good drama. Character development was through the roof, because you see so much character development from Park Sero-hee, so much, and you begin to really like his character a lot. I mean, I liked his character in episode 1, but he began to really learn a lot of life skills that will teach him a lot of meaning too in this episode. So episode 2 was fantastic. I really liked that episode. Now, since we talked about episode 2, I want to go ahead and talk about episode 3 of Itaewon Class. So episode 3, this is where they introduce a couple of new factors into the series. Like, you have the introduction of Jo Yi-so. Jo Yi-so is she's the popular social media girl. Like, she's like a crazy rocker girl or someone that goes like kind of punk. Think of it like Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man. She got that punk era type of bad girl type, but she's also smart. Like, she has a huge IQ, and she actually uses her social media, her presence of social media, one thing for a really good time in that one scene, because one of the Korean girls was getting bullied, and then Jo Yi-so used her social media to kind of expose those bullies and expose how the mom couldn't take responsibility for her daughter's actions. So in a way, Jo Yi-so, I think she has a sense of justice, just like Park Sero-hee does. She has a sort of sense of justice in that one scene that Park did, just like he did when he was defending Jang-won. He was defending Jang-won from himself. Jang-won was bullying someone, and he didn't want him to keep bullying people. So that was a really good episode. I think Jo Yi-so adds a lot more fun to the show, honestly. Ever since her introduction, the show kind of went more fun and more kind of entertaining. It became a lot more of a roller coaster ride, which is really cool. And then you're introduced to another character, which is Jang-won's little brother. Jang-won's little brother is actually a very good... I actually really like him. I like that he has respect and he takes responsibility, even though he is from a rich family. He takes a lot of responsibility for his own actions, and he's respectful to elders and just people that are above him. But he can also understand, the normal person, the normal crowded person. I really like his little brother. But then you have Jang-won. Jang-won kind of reverted back to being the crazy person he was in episode 1, to where he kind of takes stuff for granted and he just goes through life thinking he can get everything. But that's because of the brainwashing that was happening in episode 2, when Jang-won's father was, teaching him how to be bad again. He was on his way to becoming a better person. It's just his father is kind of like the bad apple that makes everything a little bit more messy. So yeah, episode 3, all in all, it was really good. I love the drama with Jo Yi-so, how she went into the restaurant of Park Sero-hee, and they met through that. But this episode surprised me a lot, because also she kind of snitched. Honestly, she snitched on Park Sero-hee's restaurant, and the police came in. But the best scene comes after this scene, honestly, because you get to see Park Sero-hee kind of stand up for himself again. But this time he's a lot more mature, and he kind of learns a lot more. When Jang-won kind of provoked him and started cursing at him and saying bad things to him, Park Sero-hee actually controlled himself. He controlled himself. He didn't let himself punch him again. He learns the fact that he can control himself and have a better business than his father's, and just have it through that way. have a better way of doing things than, you know, solving yourself with fists and all that. And I think that is a great idea. I think it shows how far Park Sero-hee has matured as a person, and you kind of see him turning into more of his father. You know, his father is a really good role model. And on that fact, I want to actually compare, you know, Park Sero-hee. You know, Park Sero-hee had a lot of good determination, and he had a lot of good morals and teachings from his dad, while Jang-gun is actually having bad teachings from his dad. So in a way, Jang-gun is like the polar opposite to Park Sero-hee. You know, he would be Park Sero-hee if he was like bad and his father like treated him bad, you know, basically. And I see like they're both polar opposites. Like, that was crazy. I really loved how they did that comparison there. But yes, I really can't wait to see what happens more after this. I know Jo Yi-so takes more of an interest in Park Sero-hee, and then I saw that the preview of Oh-so-ah is going to be talking to Jo Yi-so in the next episode. So that's something really crazy. And I think so far, Itaewon class has been fantastic. This is one of those series where every episode that comes after it becomes better and better than the last one. So far, this is becoming one of my most anticipated shows, and I'm gonna keep watching it. Anyways, that's it for my episode review of episode 2 and 3 of Itaewon class. What do you guys think of Itaewon class? Let me know in the comment section down below, and deuces.